filmed this entire video and then I decided I didn't want to use that version that I filmed because I felt like I was just kind of spilling gossip. I want to make this video while still respecting the people involved and not trashing anyone's name, and maybe I wasn't, but it's a very touchy subject for everyone involved, and I don't want to come across as the person pointing fingers, so I just felt like that video I made was doing that, and so I'm going to refilm it. So here we are, take 2. Still not easy to make, still not fun to talk about, still not something that I'm like excited to talk about, but it needs to be said, and this is the time of the year to say it. Not really, just that it's been a year since the beginning of all of this, so it just seems right to address it now. Especially since I went to my parents' house today to post some of my stuff for sale, and I found this pillow that was a gift to me from my theater mother, Cher, and it's a pillow that has one of my favorite pictures that I took of my dog Lynx on it. And I went back and forth for a long time deciding whether or not I should get rid of this pillow because I no longer own Lynx, and I finally decided that I'm going to keep it because this pillow represents the good times that we had, and you know, I still love Lynx and I still treasure having owned her, and I don't want to forget that. So this pillow will be a way to remember that. And I also just wanted to talk about it with you guys because when I gave up my dog Lynx, I never addressed it on here. I did say it in an Instagram post because I didn't want people asking me about her and getting triggered. So I just said, she's not mine anymore, please don't ask me about it. And that was it. But Vlogmas 2018 was when I first had Lynx enter my life, and that is all popping back up in my time hop, in my Facebook memories, in my phone memories, and it's been hard and difficult. I knew that was going to happen. Doesn't make it any easier, and I just felt like it might be appropriate to talk about it because I literally stopped Vlogmas 2018 to focus on Lynx, and now I'm doing Vlogmas 19. I don't have Lynx. It just feels like I need to talk about it. I want to put out a disclaimer and say that everything I've experienced and will talk about is from my perspective. I have not talked to the people involved since I gave up Lynx because I don't want to talk to them because I'm still triggered by them and by the whole thing that happened. So I don't communicate with them. So I haven't had a chance to talk with them and kind of get to a common ground and like figure out what their perspective was and just come to a safe space and talk about it. So if I say anything here that comes across as offensive or pointing fingers or anything like that, that is not my intention. I do not want to upset anyone. I really just want to say what happened and why and how it affected me. I don't want to cause any drama. And that's why I deleted the first video, because I felt like it was kind of like a tea spill channel and I didn't want to be that. So let's try this again. When my friend Andrea and I first rescued Lynx, my intention was for her to be my psychiatric service dog, something that I kind of thought about but didn't think would apply to me. But Andrea had said that it was something I might need, and I was like, you know what, I really do need a dog again because Riley kind of was like an emotional support animal for me. Unofficially, but that's kind of how I saw him, and I needed that, and not having that hurt, and so Lynx seems perfect for that. She kind of hit all the boxes. She checked in on me, on people, on us, but you know, we noticed that she really tended to check in on me and Andrea, and she picked up things very quickly, she learned very quickly, she was very receptive, and so it just seemed like the perfect match. Didn't have a place to keep her, so we had to figure that out, found a perfect foster. They did amazing. They were so helpful. I can't believe all the things they did for us. Like, honestly, to have a husky puppy in your house for that long was, they're beyond amazing. And it was all fine, but as we started training her, we kind of realized that she wasn't going to be really a service dog, because as dogs get comfortable in their environments, they kind of change, right? I mean, just like people. So Lynx was living in a garage without a lot of human interaction. All of a sudden we swoop in and rescue her, we're giving her all this love and attention. Of course she's going to check in on us, right? And as she realized that we weren't going to leave her, that we were staying, well, then she stopped checking in on us, because she's a husky and huskies are very independent. We just thought she happened to be a little more dependent, and we realized that she wasn't, and that's okay. So we made her an emotional support animal, which, you know, like I said, was what Riley kind of was for me, so that wasn't a bad thing. But, you know, it kind of became like I had a dog that I didn't really need. Kind of like when you buy a pair of pants and you're like, these fit, but I don't really need them, right? You buy a pair of pants for work, but they don't quite work in that way. So you're like, well, I guess I'll keep them because they fit. Well, it's like I got Lynx to be a service dog. She didn't really fit that capacity, so she became an emotional support animal, which was still good, but it wasn't what I needed necessarily. I needed more of a service dog, someone who could like help me in an anxiety attack, help me in a self-harm incident, and that wasn't really what she was going to do anymore. And again, not that her being an emotional support animal was a bad thing, that was still good, but that wasn't what I really necessarily agreed on, right? And it just became very difficult because I began to feel like I couldn't provide enough for her. She needed someone who had more time, and being involved with theater and all the things that I do, I just didn't have that amount of time, especially since I could no longer like take her with me. A service dog can go with you to a lot of things. Well, she was no longer that. So now I had a dog that I couldn't take everywhere. So what was I supposed to do? You know, the reason I was wanting a service dog was so that I could have a dog with me, you know? So she's on work mode, she's using her brain, and now she's just needing exercise, and that's a normal dog thing. That's okay, but that's not what I needed. And the dog park was great, but when she went into heat, I could no longer take her there, and my version of walking wasn't enough for her, and I just began to realize that maybe this wasn't working. And I started to kind of have this flip-flopping of, I want her because I'm selfish, but at the same time, she'd probably be better off with somebody else, maybe even Andrea. And it was hard because, again, I'm selfish and you want your dog, but the bigger, more responsible person realizes that this isn't gonna work, and for the better gives their dog up. I wasn't quite there yet, but I was realizing that maybe being selfish wasn't gonna work. It wasn't until I was actually pet sitting at her original foster's house that it hit me. I came back from work. She had been cooped up all day, and so of course she had a bunch of energy, but I had to go to my performance that night, and so I couldn't take her to the dog park, and I broke down because I realized that I wasn't enough. You could say, why not just give up theater and dedicate more time to her? Theater is my biggest coping method. And I think it's because with theater you can hide, right? You're not yourself. You can be someone else for an hour, 2 hours, however long the show is. You can be a kid, you can be a dog, you can be a cat, you can be a tree, you can be a hobo, you can be whatever. You're not Molly Blazer. You're hobo number 5. And for that amount of time, I can disappear and I can not deal with my problems. So it's a coping method in a great way, but it's also very time consuming, just like anything. As I was having this breakdown, I realized that I didn't get a dog to give up theater. I got a dog to make my life easier. I got a dog that I could bring with me to the theater as a service dog, and she'd be quiet backstage. You know, I didn't get a dog that I had to stress out about because I had a dog that was supposed to come with me. And that's just when I realized this wasn't going to work. And so I asked Andrea, I said, can you take her? And, you know, we had kind of fallen out of touch because I don't honestly fully understand why, but she wanted me to have some room to grow and she wanted some room for herself to grow. I respect that, but it felt very painful to suddenly just be dropped by your friend who was supposed to be helping you train this dog that now you just had no time for. And I'm not blaming her, but I felt very alone. And that was not safe in my mental capacity. And I was not in a good place. And I said, you need to take her as soon as possible because I can't do it with this show. And we kind of just realized that our friendship was not going to continue and that Lynx will be happier with her, and I'm very positive about that. I know Lynx is happy with Andrea. But it was still really, really painful to go through all of this. And so much so that I went to the hospital over it. I couldn't take it anymore, and they came and brought me to the hospital. My friends called the police on me, and they took me in because I just couldn't handle the loss and the rejection and the pain. And it was very difficult. And I'm not saying that I'm the victim here. I'm only saying that it was hard for me. And I hope that you understand that this was not an easy decision. And it did not come like with glitter and cupcakes. It came with pain and hard, dark thoughts. So yes, giving up Lynx hurt. But what hurt more was losing a friend that I thought was going to be there for me to help with Lynx and to create this dog that would benefit me mentally and emotionally. But I don't know what happened, and I would love to one day talk about it, but I just feel like she slowly dropped away and didn't really give me reasons, and I don't know if it's because of me or she just lost interest. I don't fully know, and I'm not ready to talk about it yet. But one day we will, and I'll understand what I did wrong, what I can improve, or what happened, and maybe at that time I'll be able to see Lynx again and just hold her. I really miss her. I think anyone misses a dog, but you know, people ask me how hard it was, and I said, you know, losing Riley was really hard because he was my soulmate. But that was something that I had no control over. He had to be put down. This was something I chose. And it was so painful because I made the responsible choice to give her up. I could have been selfish and I could have stressed myself out more and tried to make it work, but that wasn't gonna happen. I wasn't gonna be anywhere good if I did that. I had to go to the hospital because I gave her up. Imagine what I would have done if I had kept her. And, you know, I still look at Andrea's Facebook occasionally to see how Lynx is doing because I want to make sure she's still happy. And I know she is. She's with Andrea. I know she's safe and happy, but I still like to just check in and be like, you know, did they do anything for Halloween? Or like, did they go on a walk? Or whatever, you know, there was a picture of her at the door the other day and it was just so cute. And, you know, I miss that, but I know that I just wasn't ready for her yet. And one day I'll be ready to be friends with her again and to be part of Lynx's life again. But right now I'm not. You know, it's kind of like going through a divorce with a child. You're not quite ready to just be super involved. Like, I mean, it's different because it's a kid, so like you have to be involved, but you know, you're not ready to just like both be at a Halloween party together with your kid, you know? Like, I'm just not there. And that's okay. I'll be there in time. And in the meantime, I'd still love to get a dog again. You know, the chameleons are great, but they don't love you the way a dog does. But I know that I'm not able to have Lynx, and I'm not able to have a dog of her size or energy level. I need a dog a little less work. You know, honestly, my lifestyle really fits a cat better, but I don't like cats, so why would I get an animal I don't like? It's not going to make me feel better emotionally or mentally if I don't like the animal. So I think just like a Shiba Inu again would be a better fit, and obviously not right now. I'm not even in a, you know, a permanent living situation, but one day I hope to be again, and one day I hope that I could have a dog again. And I think that would be very beneficial to me, but I will tell you that I do feel better mentally now, having accepted myself and being openly gay, and that I feel just so much better. But I still think a dog would be beneficial in a lot of ways. I don't know, it's just a really hard video to make because nobody likes to talk about the things they've lost, human or animal. And it's even harder when the person that you lost them to is someone who you feel betrayed you and hurt you deeply, and you don't fully know why, and you're not ready to know why. So it's just, you know, I feel like it's the same as if someone broke up with someone and that other person got the dog. I feel like we broke up, not romantically, just in a friend way, and she got the dog. And that's okay, but I'm not ready to see the dog again. I'm not ready to see her again. I mean, even when I gave her Lynx, it was just so awkward, and she knew I wasn't mentally stable, and she didn't even, like, say, are you safe for me to leave right now, you know? Like, felt like a betrayal. And Lynx, unfortunately, was caught in the middle of it. Okay, so before my camera dies, which is really soon, I just wanted to say that as hard as this was, as rough as it was, pun intended, I still had a lot of good times with Lynx, and I have a lot of good memories and a lot of precious moments that, like, this pillow is from one of my favorite days and one of my favorite photos I ever took of her. This was a day that I took to get mentally better, and she was part of that, and that's beautiful, and I don't want to forget those moments, and I'm grateful for them. And I'm so happy that a lot of them are captured on camera for you guys to see and for my own personal enjoyment. You know, whether it's a video that I just didn't want to share with you, or a video that didn't make really any sense to share with you because it was like 3 seconds long. Just these little snippets of life that I get to look back on and just be happy about, you know? I think that's the beauty of my YouTube, is that I can look back and go, that was a good day, even if it's still painful. I mean, I watch the videos of Riley and feel happy and yet sad, so it's really no different than that. I'm gonna leave it at that, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, I don't know, it's not something to enjoy. I regret saying that. I'll see you guys later this week for the rest of Vlogmas. We have some fun things planned, and excited for you to come along. So just know that Lynx is in a very good place, and I'm better now, and one day maybe we'll see her again. Bye!